Thank you. I hope that you hear me. I'm having this presentation from Impact Festival, which is different kind of impact event other side of the Europe. But I'm talking for you today about concept called circular economy. So the concept itself means that it's a consumption model where no waste is generated. So, or at least moving towards it, zero waste generation. And how can we make it work in the practice, in the real world? And that is what Fairown is doing uh, in quite many markets already. But let's take a step back. If you take previously mentioned iPhone, for example, or other, you take consumer electronic products, for example, then something which is quite clear that the majority of energy, materials and resources are used when those products are produced. So 95% roughly from the total energy needed. The rest of it is like transportation and other smaller things. So to put this into context, how big the resource consumption is, this is a small quiz. Since I don't know if I can talk with you, like, can you answer really to us so I can give you the right answer to put things into the context? So if you take one single smartphone, if you count the ones which you have in your pockets or the ones which you have in the drawer for the extra phone or some whatever, doesn't matter. Each one of them, only one smartphone, to bring it to the world, it consumes 80,000 liters of water. And it's not my water, it's not your water, it's our like joint water in the world. So basically that's how much it's used with the electronic products. So it's a very, very large part of the resource consumption, what goes into those products, what we are using for our daily communication and or just for fun or doing work. So how the consumer behavior have been changing over time. Like when we look back, we bought something, or if we look back to our even like generations back. We bought something, we were happy that we were able to get the ownership of this product. We kept it a long time or short time, and then we kind of stored it to somewhere. So just for the extra phone or extra computer, if my like the main one breaks down, and when the day when it was like time to clean the cupboards, then we basically throw it away because we understood it wasn't like useful anymore. Where the world is going and where we are part of making this shift happening together with many other brands and participants who are striving towards this circular economy is something which is a responsible buying. To buy something, I would say, different way where the focus is on the usership and you are not looking only the time what you have with this product, but you are also like thinking about how the product was produced and also what's going to happen with the product when you are done with using it. And so everything is around usership, the consumption model, not so much to do with the ownership anymore. And then recycling the used products which can't be used anymore and using the products, like giving to the products multiple life cycles so they wouldn't stay just lying there for the people who are not really able or willing to extract value from the products anymore. And I'm talking about now those products which you still have but you are not using. So what does it basically mean? That the brands themselves, if you talk about brands like Apple or HP, LG, the ones we all know and use, Samsungs in the world, they are already redesigning how they produce their products, because the current products, consumer electronic products, are mostly produced from virgin materials. So meaning somebody mines a metal, it's put into the details and then combined into a new phone and sold in a store, and then you buy it. The new way of production is actually taking the same products what are coming from consumers, which are used, and the same products can be added extra warranty, extra services, and bring it to the new customer segment. For example, more price sensitive customer segment. And then when they are done using those products, only then those products are going back to the production line, which you can call like the assembly line, which producing products in a way that they take those used products into components and they use the components in new products. So that's the way the production is moving further. So let me see my clicker. Now it moved. So now a little bit about what Fairown does, taking into the consideration the context of what is going on as a macro trends. So we are giving brands tools so they can design this circular economy cycle. And they can design it not only because they want to be good brands and good, like the managers of those companies want to be good citizens. So it's not driven only by the morality, but it's driven also by the business, because it is better business for them and their owners. So basically what happens is that the product is produced, it's sold, it's used, and it's reused and then recycled. So the brands can actually reduce their dependence on silicon shortage, on the situations where they can't get access to the virgin materials, and they can still keep using the components and their own old products, because there is a logical way that the consumers are not using the products too long or too short. They are using it right amount of time, and they are giving them back, preferably in a good working condition. So our business model is also driven by United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which which are aligning with our mission. So building an infrastructure which would enable brands to enable circular economy. That's basically what we are doing. Financial infrastructure, process, logistical. So basically being the one enabling the closing the circle. So if they work with us, they get turnkey solution. And when they have started using it, then the consumers can have a choice. Do I want to consume my phone, laptop, coffee machine, oven, basically any product which is following the same model, sustainable way, or I just want to buy it. So basically we are giving the option, which encourages this sustainable consumption. Yeah, so basically what it brings, brings dramatic economical and ecological impact to the way we, like, changing the way how we have been used to use our electronics. And that also brings the extension of life cycle, because not all the consumers are same. Quite many of them can still use the products if you are not still willing to use them. And the used products can be used to be mining the materials. So meaning that the materials wouldn't be mined on Africa on the mines, but from the products which the initial producer have made. And of course, the producer knows their own products, weaknesses, details, and everything best. So that's why they are the most effective ones to extract the value from their own production. And we are basically the methodology or technology and business processes who are putting together. Let me see if I can get the next slide. Yes. We have the technology who establishes a unique partnership to enable it. And the partnership consists of the brands and retailers. It consists of the banks of those specific countries we are operating. And we are the one platform basically tying it all together. So each participant of this framework is bringing something on the table. So we are bringing table a subscription platform, basically, which puts it all together. We are bringing on the table the residual value management. So basically, we are telling how much monetary value is still like 2-year-old iPhone has or 3-year-old laptop has. And we create in cooperation with retailers and brands those predictable product life cycles. Like what is the reasonable life cycle for a developer's computer who is writing a code, or what is the reasonable life cycle for the average person who like wants to watch TV, for example? Like how long does this person should have this product and use this product? And then we have integrated banks into this circle. In Scandinavia, we are using a resource bank, for example. In Baltics and Poland, we are working together with InBank. So the banks are doing end consumer behavior and credit check processes to understand are they credit worthy and can they really pay for their monthly for the products. And then we integrate into those platforms the retailers, the Apple who we work with in Baltics and Poland, Steel with whom we work in Scandinavia, some large retailers, etc., etc. So what we have learned through this cooperation is that, and this is something which was repeating pattern from Norway first, and then Sweden, when it became like quickly very popular. And we got like more than 40,000 customers back then on a plans. So when we went out the survey and we got 4,000 answers, where 70% or 68.2% customers told that they would not have made a decision to take this product if this more, let's say, service-like and sustainable option wouldn't have been available. So that basically was the customer's word. So what does it mean for the brand and retailer who is working with us? It basically means that they will get more business. What it means for the consumer, for them it means that they have more convenience they can stay up to date with the technology and not worry that the products are ending in the landfill. It becomes also more affordable because you don't need to pay for the value what you are not using. So you need to pay with us only for the part of the product price what you actually use over the time when you are using it. And then we are taking care of the rest. And how this all like emphasize and supports the circular economy, the consumer who otherwise they also need a laptop. Like I'm bringing you one example. Let's say that you are a software developer and you need to do a very powerful computer to do your job. And you can use it maybe maximum 2 years because then you need another powerful computer. So what happens is that the consumer 2 years from now, if you as a developer doesn't give your computer further, you put it into a drawer and use it as extra one, just an accident or just in case there, then the person needs to buy something else, something cheaper, something produced, which is also produced from the virgin materials. So basically, we are bringing the products which have had their first life cycle to the market and enable consumers to have access to those products. This is like the first step what we're doing. And why do we work with those brands? The big picture there is that if and when, not if, but when they have sufficient quantity of used products coming back to them in a predictable condition from the predictable areas of the world and in a significant quantity, then they really can build up their assembly lines, then they can build up their refurbished product lines. So meaning they can build a business case out of it. So they can really close the loop, because the current consumer consumption behavior, where was my previous speaker said that don't buy new product when it comes out because it's not sustainable. Correct in some sense. But what happens is that if you use your, and the brand doesn't know when it potentially could come back to them and when they could either sell it to somebody else with a subscription or take it to the components. They can't plan any business processes around it. I'm not sure if you are aware, but around 83% of the consumer electronic products are not refurbished. So they are going directly to the waste, and all the value of the silicon chips, everything what could be very, very well used are there because consumers don't tell to the other side who could still use something with the product when they stop using it. So we are there to close the circle with that. So that's in a nutshell what I wanted to talk with you about today. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you're still with us. Oh, here you are. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions for our excellent speaker? Do I see a wave of hands? Not too many. I'm going to ask myself then. So how do you break that circle of sad statistics that most of consumer electronics go straight to the dumpster? I mean, you're there for sure, but I mean, is that enough? I don't think most consumers know how to find you. So what are the steps that we need to take as a society and also as regulators, perhaps in the political framework, to actually start reusing the resources that we have put in to unsustainable electronics?
I would say that consumers don't need to find us, they need to find the brands they love. So if they find Apple, they find us. If they find Samsung, they find us. So meaning the commercial approach to this model, I believe, works like well compared with the what could be enforced by the regulator, because enforced by the regulator is enforced externally. But this model is driven by the business. It's driven by the greed and the profit, which is basically the cornerstone of the market economy. So that's why I would say that it's based on a commercial interest, which is making it more resilient than any kind of regulation which you need to apply and then like penalize if somebody is not following it, etc. what I still believe, what the how to say, like building out the awareness that you don't need to own your product forever, because you building the awareness that there will be somebody next after you who could benefit from this product. So please don't use it forever. Don't be this person who does that, but rather there will be there will be many different like it's a long like large economy which can be built if the products are coming from the consumer hands on the right time, on the good condition. So basically what you personally can do is like keep your product in a good condition. Don't break it. Don't put the cover around your phone. And make sure that it goes from you to the next user when it still has value, not when it's like absolutely useless. And that's basically, what we are thinking about being important.
Good recommendations. I see we have some questions from the audience also. Go ahead.
Yeah, this question actually ties very much into this absolutely useless thing, because my experience has been that I usually replace my phone because there is something that feels very small wrong with it, like a display or maybe a speaker or something. I recently had to fix, one key, the M key on my keyboard didn't work, and so Apple had to replace the whole keyboard, the speakers, the CPU, everything pretty much was replaced because the M didn't work. And I mean, do you kind of see yourself as kind of bringing any solutions to that part of the challenge with electronics, where basically the fact that they're just made to be ruined whenever something small breaks down?
The consumer electronic products, the business model is built different way currently. It's built in a way that the deal between the brand and the consumer is typically that I'm selling you something as a brand, and I'm not gonna see you as a consumer anytime soon, or basically not at all. I don't know when you're coming back, and that's why every point to make money out of this relationship is related to like that kind of practice is what you just described. That you make things hard to repair, that you make products easy to break, etc. Because the reason is there that the product should last like 2 years, and the product has no use for the brand himself anymore at all. So that's the, how to say, that's the reason why you get that kind of experience. If it would be other way around, so meaning there would be deal that okay, you will use this computer from Apple, but you also give it back to Apple in, let's say, some predictable time when Apple can basically they will become interested this product being able to keep it more easily in a good shape, so it wouldn't break that way. It would be easier to fix, etc. So meaning their motivation moves to the different place. Do you see what I mean? So they actually want to sell this product again. So they wouldn't need to buy virgin materials. So they could make additional revenue from giving it to the new customer for the second, for the third life cycle. So that's basically that comes with the current business model. And that needs to change. You can't really tell as a regulator to Apple that no, you need to produce your products different way, but you can make like we can build up a business model which motivates Apple to build the products in a way it would be easy to repair, because they are themselves interested of repairing them, not you as a consumer.
Excellent. Another question from the audience. Go ahead.
Actually, 2 questions. There have been different projects about cell phones with replaceable parts, like Project Arab from Google, something like 5-6 years ago. but actually I haven't heard about that since when. Maybe could you elaborate why do you think, well, it was not launched? And the second question concerning also giving away things again to the brand. Currently, there is practice in Apple shops that you bring your cell phone, and when you buy new, you receive some discount. But maybe, for example, if I don't want to buy again Apple, or I want to go to some other brand, or maybe I don't want to buy phone at all, then for me it doesn't. As for consumer, it doesn't make sense to bring that product back because I'm just doing revenue for the company and I'm not getting anything back unless I buy. So, do you have any idea, for example, if I, as a customer, through your platform, I give away my old device and I'm accumulating, so to say, virtual credit points that I can spend on something else that I like or that I need more at this point?
I don't actually know about the Google project. What was the first question? Can you repeat it a little bit, or what do you mean by this Google project?
It was Project Ara, the cell phone where you can replace parts. And it was from 2015, 2016. But as you haven't heard about that, I think the project was only an idea, a startup, and it was not widely popular.
Yes, I have seen those kind of projects more. So those kind of modular and easily fixable phones, one way or another, coming to the market. I don't really see them too much different as any other products. So for us, it is the same. Our model doesn't change. So of course it's good if it's coming. But in the end of the day, it's a question about the life cycle. So life cycle needs to be there. Is it shorter or longer? It depends on how the product is designed and how quickly technology evolves. What concerns now, like the quickest adaptation of this solution, what we have, is not around providing the best flexibility to customers, because or you being able to switch between Samsungs and Apples, etc. The reason being that the cost of producing the phone, this 80,000 liters, is so huge resource on your hand. So meaning we need to build a really strong commercial initiative to make move a needle, so the people would actually do and follow the cycle. So that's why the savings, what can be granted and given to the customers, are related to first the secondary product, secondary market value, and second the price what the brands are ready to pay for the loyal customer per transaction. So meaning that's why we are not building it that way as you described, but it's basically like, hey, if you take this plan, stay with Apple. If you don't stay with Apple, you are not getting that kind of savings, but we still take back your phone for sure. But some, let's say, some economical savings will be lost if you are not staying loyal with the brand who basically introduced you to Fairown, basically, if you see what I mean.
Thank you very much, Hendrik. I'm afraid we have run out of time. Great presentation, and thank you for answering the questions. Applause, ladies and gentlemen.